Okay, we're on to Chapter 7, Advanced Periodic Functions. So the first section, Circular and Reciprocal Functions. So this starts off with some basic stuff, then we get a little bit harder. Just a refresher. Complementary angles add up to, you guessed it, 90 degrees or pi over 2. So you've got your basic trig identities: sine, cosine, tangent. Just a reminder, the co and cosine actually means complementary. So cosine is the sine of the complementary angle. Okay, so cosine of theta is equal to the sine of the complementary angle, the angle that adds up to 90 with theta. So it's basically 90 minus theta, and we're basically going to be doing radians here, so just remember it like this. Okay, these are complementary angles, theta and pi over 2 minus theta. So cosine of one is sine of the other, and the opposite is also true. Sine of theta equals cosine of pi over 2 minus theta. Okay, so this is a basic one to know, very important. Now, interestingly, I've got a tangent. There is also something called a cotangent. So again, the complementary tangent. Okay, now tangent. Let's see, tangent, if you remember, tangent of theta is sine theta over cos theta. So the complementary tangent, or just cot for short, COT, is going to be the complementary sine over the complement of cos, which is sine. Okay, so that is the cotangent, which is also, another way to write that is just 1 over tan. Okay, which is the normal way to remember this. Okay, the cotangent is 1 over the tangent. See that? Okay, so there's another one. And the last, a couple more interesting ones that you've never probably heard of: the secant and cosecant. Okay, secant, which we would just say sec theta, is 1 over cosecant, cosine of theta. And the other one is the cosecant, which of course we can't just shorten to cos because we already used that, so we have to say cosec is 1 over, what do you think? If you're thinking sine, you were correct. So then just remember that these are a bit backwards. Secant is not 1 over sine, it's 1 over cosine, and cosecant is not 1 over cos. Okay, they're a bit backwards like that. Okay, but you've got to remember those. Alright, now, okay, here are some examples. Okay, now when you're trying to solve anything like this, there are some steps you always have to do. Okay, you have to determine the sign of your answer. You basically use the quadrant to determine the sign, the SIGN sign, the plus or the minus of your answer. Okay, so for example, this one is pi plus theta is going to be quadrant 3, and so on. Okay, the next step is to the next step is a little bit tricky. You don't always have to do this, but you have to decide, do I need to change cos to sine or sine to cos? So basically you look at this part here, look at this, what do I call it, the angle, to see if we change sine to cos or cos to sine. Okay, that is, and you only do that if this angle is like pi over 2, 3 pi over 2, 5 pi over 2, etc. Okay, it's got to be a half. Okay, you don't do this if this angle is just a pi or a 2 pi. You're not going to change anything. Alright, and the last step is just write answer, just write the answer. Yeah, without the angle, without that angle, without this angle. Okay, so for example, A. Quadrant, we said we're in quadrant 3. Okay, this is quadrant 3 down here. C, A, S, T. Is sign positive or negative? Sign is negative. Okay, so the answer is, it's a negative. So quadrant 3, so negative. Okay. Now, do we change sign to cos? Well, this is just a pi. It's not a half pi or a 3 pi over 2, so we don't. So it's going to be sine. That's step 2. Step 3, we just get rid of that angle, that pi there. And that is the answer. Okay, that's the simplified version. For B, step 1, 3 pi over 2 minus theta. So 3 pi over 2 is down here. We're going back theta. So we are in quadrant 3. Okay, quadrant 3. Cos is negative. So our answer is negative. Now, do we change cos to sine? We've got the half, so we have to change that to sine. And then we just get rid of this angle. We'll also get rid of the negative. I should have put that here without angle or negative. So it's just that. Okay, which is the same as before. Last one, C. 2 pi minus theta. Okay, 2 pi minus theta, we're in down here. Okay, C, A, S, T, quadrant 4, tan is negative. So my answer is negative. I don't change anything, although, yeah, I didn't say it here, but if I did have a pi over 2 or something, that tan would probably change to a cot, a cotangent. But it doesn't change, it stays tan. Get rid of the angle and the minus, so I just put that. That's my answer. Okay, next example. Show that tangent of pi over 2 minus theta equals cot theta. And I did just explain up here for that previous one that is going to be true, but let's just go through step by step and show that. Okay, so tangent is sine over, first of all, we know that tangent is sine over cosine. Okay, so this equals sine pi over 2 minus theta divided by cosine pi over 2 minus theta. Okay, so this is what we get from tangent. Okay, and if we simplify that, we get, well, back, there's identities that I went over back here. These identities I can use, so that is just showing me that cos theta over sine theta. Okay, so let's just start up here. This is what I started with. Pi over 2 minus theta equals, I split the tan into sine and cos. Then I use the complements of both of those, which equals, which that's the definition of the cotangent. Okay, that is, cotangent is cos over sine instead of sine over cos. So therefore, tangent pi over 2 minus theta equals cotangent theta. I've just proved that. Alright, example 3. Simplify sine pi over 2 minus theta divided by secant pi plus theta. Okay, so generally you want to put everything into, you want to get rid of the secant and make that into a basic sine or cos. But the first thing, of course, the top part, that's the identity. Pi over 2 means it has to change to cos. So that's cos theta divided by secant is 1 divided by cos of pi plus theta. Alright, so far what I've got is cos theta times, so when I'm divided by 1 over, it's basically going to put this on the top. Alright, so now this part here, the second part, I go through those steps that I did previously up here. There's 1, 2, 3 steps. Use my quadrant. So, pi plus theta, down here. Q3 cos negative. Okay, so this is times by negative. I've got a pi here. I don't have a pi over 2, so do I change the cos to a sine? No, I don't. I keep it cos, get rid of the angle, and just put that. So the whole thing equals negative cos squared theta. Okay, that is it for this section.